Yo, 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 what it do? It's your girl Jay, the High Priestess, back at it again with the general tarot reading for this full moon in Gemini 2025. Funny, I just recorded a solid 3 minutes of what I felt like was really good reading, and I had the mic input in, but my mic was charging, and so I was just talking. Talking back to the ether. Um, Hydrate, light it if you need it. I already did this, but let's go ahead and clear out any funky ass energy. Welcoming in my benevolent ancestors, Mother God, Father God, Mother Earth, Holy Spirit. Thanking you for the most useful, helpful, and divinely aligned messages for this full moon in Gemini that we're having. I'm filming this the day before, so I'm not giving you guys much notice. But Patreon squad's used to that. I went in on that last one, man, and that felt like really good. And I'm gonna do my best to like recreate it or tap back into that. But I feel like that's what's almost happening with this full moon in Gemini. I think that that was it. I think that that was good. I think that that was what needed to be said or needed to be channeled. I thought that's who I was. I thought that's what I thought about those topics, those beliefs. I thought that's what I stood for. I thought this was my understanding. And now it's just gone. I don't even think that this is a super moon. I'm trying to think of this full moon that's happening, she the moon will be crossing over Uranus retrograde in Taurus before, and there's just something about a sudden flavor to this that I'm now picking up on. Like something suddenly, suddenly I don't think that way. Suddenly I don't feel that way. Suddenly I don't talk that way. Suddenly I don't fuck with those people. I don't live in that neighborhood. I don't Suddenly something shifting with siblings. Suddenly um things shifting with in-laws. Suddenly it just feels kind of like suddenly something is gone, suddenly something has changed, suddenly something's been removed, suddenly something is unusable, suddenly something is null, is moot. um and I do feel like it has to do with a thought process and a concept, a perception, an ideal, a mindset, a lens. Our lenses are being updated. Now, this full moons are a period of release, and it is a time to harvest. It is a time to reap the harvest of the seeds that were sown from the previous new moon. Excuse me. So, whatever you was cooking up and percolating during that previous new moon in Scorpio, ooh, I feel like we are, what did I say? Letting go of old doubts and programming so that you can tend to the sprouts from the season of I desire, Scorpio season. There will be important conversations around this full moon in Gemini. There's going to be important aha moments. There's some sort of reframing that's coming in, or a reframing that is settling in or being integrated in some sort of way. It's like whatever seeds you planted during that new moon in Scorpio 2025, you're reaping some kind of harvest for it with this full moon. um This full moon happens on December 4th at 6:14 p.m. Eastern, 5:14 p.m. Central, 4:14 p.m. Mountain Time, and 3:14 p.m. Pacific. It's happening at 13 degrees Gemini. And you know I gotta hit you with the handy dandy. Inside Degrees by Elias Lonsdale. Where does he say? Where's Gemini? Me. Hydrate. So this full moon, this release around Gemini, the sign of I think, is happening at the 13th degree of Gemini. So this is Elias Lonsdale's description of the 13th degree of Gemini. Garlic hung from the window. Sorry, garlic hung at the window for protection. Stationed in isolate containment to cultivate gifts, virtues, talents, and special offerings. Generously endowed with timing grace to preserve and maintain worlds apart. You are directed from within to divulge nothing and remain in telepathic wavelength beyond words. Inside there, you become conversant with extraordinary spheres and are held in a purity of protection and veiling, a kind of otherness which rarely is seen for what it is. You extrovert into apparent display and meanwhile keep everything essential for later. A perfect arrangement for very special fosterings and streams, and virtually impenetrable and somewhere else to be unlimited inside the world. His sentence structure be off sometimes. Anyway, the last sentence is, and virtually impenetrable and somewhere else to be unlimited inside the world. Garlic hung at the window for protection, which gives superstition, lore, ancestral knowledge and wisdom, ancestral thought processes, epigenetics. Stationed in isolate containment to cultivate gifts, virtues, talents, and special offerings. I feel like the gifts, virtues, talents, and special offerings have been cultivated, are being cultivated, or this is the activation of their cultivation. And buckle up. Generously endowed with timing grace to preserve and maintain worlds apart. This whole thing that you have about you're late, you're not on time, you're taking too long to get it done, blah blah blah, you're not where you should be by now, but all of that shit I feel like is blowing up. That mindset, that kind of thinking is blowing up. You are exactly where you need to be. All right, so I just want to dive in. What is to be released? For this full moon in Gemini, 2025, December 4th, 2025, what is to be released? What harvest? Ooh! Okay, what is to be released? The Seven of Wands reversed and the Star reversed. It's time to release your defenses. It's time to put your walls down. It's time to understand that you have gained higher ground. You need to maintain it. It's time to release those old grudges. It's time to release uh, um, trying to steer the show, trying to be in control, trying to force things or manipulate things to go in a certain direction, especially if it's involving someone with Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, or Aquarius placements. Let go of manipulation. I feel like release that aspect of you that is blocking yourself from receiving, blocking yourself, like that hyper independent shit. I feel like there is some sort of spiritual update when it comes to your internal security system. Your internal GPS is navigating in it's rerouting, and I just feel like with the star reverse, there's something here about surrender. What you need to release is your fear of surrendering, your fear of giving into the flow, giving into the divine, letting life fucking happen. There's something about letting go of, like, some of you have just given up. Some of you are just like, fuck it, whatever happens happens. And some of you are on the complete other end of the spectrum and are trying to like manipulate and control every fucking iota of your life so that you can have this very specific outcome. You're building a very precarious deck of cards for yourself to accidentally, tumble over. um setting little bombs for yourself in some sort of way. And I just feel like there's something about starting to release the old thought process of like control that you have. Until I get updated, this is where I stand. All you can control is what you voluntarily put into your body, whether you react or respond, and what you do about your intentions. Everything else is outside of your jurisdiction. And so there's something here about assessing what is in your lane. Where do you feel safe? Where do you feel like you can put your defenses down? What's going on with your relationship to safety? How can you assess what is in your lane, start doing everything that you intend to do so that your actions match your ambitions, or that your actions at least reflect your ambitions? If I was a fly on the wall in your house and I looked at everything that you did, would I be able to tell what your goals are? Would I be able to tell where you're going, what you're trying to create, what you're trying to do, where you're trying to steer things in? And when I ask what harvest is to reap, the Ace of Cups. In Scorpio season, you bitches were ooey gooey and you asked for a whole lot of love, or you asked for new depth, or you asked for replenishment, you asked for new something, and that's coming in this full moon in Gemini. I feel like I just heard your cup runneth over. I feel like your cup will be running over. Something you asked for, you didn't get it because you didn't wish big enough, and God's about to give you bigger than you asked for. There is an overflow. There is an abundance of rejuvenation, an abundance of creativity that's coming in. I feel like feeling just hydrated, feel like even to the touch of your skin, like feeling plump in your skin, feeling like it does, like, when you're in the sun or when you're in summer. There's just this fullness to your heart, to your soul, to your body that I feel like is coming in. And that is the harvest that we're going to be reaping from that new moon in Scorpio. I do feel like with the Six of Wands reversed on the bottom of the deck, um, career is not going in the direction that you think. All you need to do is focus on your intentions. All you need to focus on is spirit-based, heart-based decisions. Period. Ten of Cups underneath that. Then the Ace of Pentacles. It just requires right now this new relationship that you're building with yourself, and for you to start communicating more effectively. I feel like some of us are like having to learn how to consider other people, learning how to, or relearning how to be in relationship, um learning how to make choices, learning how to choose we, learning how to choose a healthy we, learning how to be a healthy me, so I can attract in and therefore make sure I'm not settling with anything less than a healthy me. Like a healthy me attracts somebody, a healthy me attracts the healthy me in someone else, you know? And so I feel like there are big cycles that are closing out in regards to your personal power, in regards to your self awareness. I want to pull, I just recently got this pocket edition of the archetypes deck. I have this deck in the full size. The packaging is just so beautiful, like, and it's so kind of like a lot to take it out. It's just so big that I just never use it. And so I'm so grateful that I found this pocket size, so I can use these as clarifiers and as reads more often than I wanted to. I want to clarify this Seven of Wands reversed and the Star reversed. And I asked, what's to be released? Ooh, the Bardo. And the Riddle with the tear on the bottom of the deck. I've read the Bardo before. I can't remember what it is, though. In this tiny ass book, like, Lord Jesus, what am I supposed to do with this book? All right, the Bardo, the liminal, the in between, the transition. It is said that the Bardo is a place between this life and the next, a liminal realm through which souls pass. Envisioning this inherently mysterious place creates the potential for us to rise above the concerns of this world and see our relationships through a cosmic and timeless lens. We may receive messages from those who are no longer with us or see visions of lives not yet lived. In the Bardo, there is potential to forgive the unforgivable, to say the unsaid, to see the unseen, to love the unloved, to let go of all things that cause us pain. The Bardo suspends us in its spaciousness for just long enough to open us to higher wisdom. Its energy does not belong to Earth as we know it, but rather to the cosmic network of which we are a single thread. Nice. Damn. All right. The Bardo, when light, spaciousness, grace, forgiveness, truth. When dark, ferment, dislocation, hallucination, transience. Go deeper. The Tibetan Book of the Dead, Lament of the Dead by James Hillman. That's interesting that lament just came up because I just had this whole fucking aha moment with my boyfriend where I had a Freudian slip and said lament instead of something else, and I'm not gonna say that. Some of you, this full moon in Gemini, I feel like there is a lamenting, there is an expression of grief, there is a mourning, there is a letting something go, there is a release there, or at least there's a need to. um there could be just a lament that is needed. Then we have the riddle and the tear. The riddle, the puzzle, the question, the mystery. When the riddle is present, one must stop searching for the right answer. It cannot be found, and ultimately, it is not important. Rather, there must be a shift from the literal to the metaphysical, from logic to mystic. You are thinking too small and literally about the situation. The riddle card appears when the energy is deep and mysterious, like the elusive wisdom in a Zen koan. Focusing harder won't do it. Neither will increased effort. Time, surrender, star reversed. Time, surrender, and humor are your only allies. What feels like the most pressing dilemma won't reveal its deeper wisdom for a long time. Eventually, you'll learn a profound lesson from the riddle. For now, get comfortable with the limitations of your intellect and the reality of not knowing. It may, in fact, be the only reality there is. Yeah, I'm saying, like, some of us have been, we're releasing or needing to release, trying to figure something out, trying to like make sense of something, trying to like let things go. And I feel like it is something that you shed tears about, something that you were upset about, something that caused tears to well up in your eyes, some sort of riddle where that hurt, something that was confusing, but it also had pain mixed up in it. I feel like you're releasing old wounds. There's this access to a deeper spiritual place within you that puts you in a position to let shit go because you understand the cycle of fucking life in a different way now, bro. That's just how that looks. That's how that feels to me. Ooh, the womb underneath. Yeah, there's a big rebirth. Please clarify this Ace of Cups. Actually, please clarify the Six of Wands reversed. The Cave. And the Queen. I feel like there is inspiration to be found in solitude. There is inspiration to be found in your little rooms, in your cozy like comfortability. There is there is a need to maybe I feel like for some of you, especially if you have Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio placements, or Capricorn, or Libra. If you have any of those placements, this full moon in Gemini is going to help you see the ways that you need to develop alone time and develop time in the spirit realm, time in a spiritual devotional place for yourself so that you can get the instructions, get the next phase, get the next instructions to scale or to take things to the next level. Please clarify this Ace of Cups. I feel like you need to be alone so that you can access your heart and therefore make heart-based, spirit-based decisions, which you doing so, regardless of if you're a relationship or not, there's just something there around like quality alone time, what you do with your alone time, what you do when you're by yourself, how you really invest in development. The Mystic. I feel like those of you who are profoundly spiritual, you are the mystic in the village. Those of you who are profoundly spiritual or do spiritual work, or are therapists, are healers in some sort of way, in the medical field, in the mental health field, um, those of you that are creators or designers, like those of you that have access to like you tap into some intuitive spiritual shit for your work. I feel like there are new relationships, there's new family, there's new love. There is a new circle of trust, a new a divide, a fault. Ooh, the bottom of the deck is fault line. I feel like there is a divide, there is a line drawn in the sand around an old version of you and your old life and this new life that's coming in because of a new thought process. Those of you that consider yourself mystical, I just feel like the birds of your feather are about to be flocking to you or have flocked to you, and you now are like held in like you're with your people. Some of you are about to be creating a new community, creating a new village. There's a deeper circle, a deeper connection that's coming in. The vessel, and I just feel like some of you are going to realize you are a container for some really big, beautiful gifts that the divine, the universe will be working through you. Please clarify that 10 of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, the castle. I'm telling you, you will be held. You will be, what is it? You will be set high up atop a hill. The castle. There is just some sort of leveling up, nobility. I mean, the queen is here touching the castle, bruh. How is very empress mode. There's pearls here. I feel like there are this new cycle. Some of you are getting jewelry, some of you are getting gifts, some of you there's this like whole new, the king and the motherfucking queen are out, y'all. The king, the queen, the castle, the king. And some of y'all did it in that order. Oh, some of y'all, you got to queen level. You built an empire. You started to build your own castle. Then your king came in. Period. And to clarify, that's clarifying the 10 of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles. So I feel like there is a big new chapter of stability that wants to come into relationships. Some of y'all are in relationships that need to fall apart. So it's like you can rebuild the relationship. Some of you are being asked to access that like crone energy inside of you. All right. Actually, I want to clarify this 2 of Cups, 2 of Wands in the world. The underworld, bruh. I'm telling you, some stuff is having. Everybody wants the rebirth, but you got to have the death before you have the rebirth. Ooh, 27, motherfucking 27 on the clock. Some of y'all are having really, really, really deep transformational love, especially if you have Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius placements. The gem. Some of you have found the gem, a diamond in the rough. Some of you have you found something, you're holding on to something, and it means the world to you. Some of you are starting to realize like you had a gem, you had something. The vow. Some of y'all are with somebody, like this person that you're with, you're going to marry. Ooh. And Thanatos here. I'm not reading this, but look at this spider web. It's like you are stuck in the webs of fate. There is no, the dead end. There is no going in a different direction. You're forced to look at this. Some of you are with someone who is forcing you to look at yourself, is forcing you to see and experience and implement reverence within yourself, because your parents didn't teach you to do it, or where you come from didn't teach you to hold yourself or carry yourself with the reverence that this person is going to be exposing you to. We like that. All right. Any messages? The river touching the star. I feel like there is a flow of information that wants to come in, but it couldn't previously because our guards were up too high. Final messages. The 10 of Cups out again with the 9 of Cups underneath. You have to learn how to master the 9 of Cups before you know what to do with the 10 of Cups. Or you have to be decently masterful with the Nine of Cups, decently masterful with yourself before you know how to handle the Ten of Cups. A lot of you are there. And that's the harvest that you're reaping. You don't have to do it alone anymore. I love you. You got this. This fucking remote. Let's see if it embarrasses me again.